Hey, how's it going, guys? Now, after owning this LG G2 OLED TV, I gotta say it's held up pretty well with me. I think this model is almost 2 years old at this point, so the G4 might be coming out at the time of this video. But nonetheless, this has held up pretty well. I wouldn't say it's obsolete. And before anything else, I do want to show that there's no burn-ins or dead pixels. This has held up pretty well with me. And I know that this was a problem just a few years ago with burn-ins happening more often, but OLED TVs have gotten better in general, not just LG. So, and this one's no exception. So this one has held up pretty well. There's no issues whatsoever from here. There were a couple of things that I did want to clarify from my initial review video, which if you haven't seen yet, I'll have like a card or annotation somewhere here on the top right or at the end of the video you can check out. So in my original review video, I just said that I'd recommend this if this is your first time using an OLED TV. You won't be disappointed, and I still stick with that. The other thing was that I got this for about $1,500 or $1,700, somewhere in between there, for a 65-inch. So that was a pretty good price at the time. And for some reason, this has gone up in price. You can get this goes for over $2,000 now on Amazon's website. I only checked Amazon's website, so I wonder if it's come down in other places. There are some flash sales that happen here or there, but nonetheless, the reason I chose this TV out of the other ones, or even waiting for the G3 TV, was pricing and the fact that this has a heatsink. Heatsink is very important when you're playing games and doing stuff, because I saw the C models like the LG C2, LG C3, and those do dim quicker, so you don't have full peak brightness as you might. With this has peak brightness for like a longer period, and look at that, it just went into screensaver mode, which does help prevent it from having burn-ins. And in case if you do have a burn-in, there is LG Care on the settings right here. You can kind of try to get it fixed if there is some type of burn-in problem here. Mine did come with warranty. Instead of doing a self-diagnosis, if that doesn't work, mine had a 5-year warranty, so that's pretty much unbeatable, I'd say, personally. The other thing that I like about this is this cursor. It's like really convenient to move this around, instead of just having to like move up or down and go left or right. It makes it a lot easier to type too, which is really useful. So yeah, I really like this remote and this feature that they have on this TV. It's pretty simple overall, and you got some shortcut buttons down here for Netflix, Disney, and a few other streaming services. But going back to it all, you'll have a longer period of peak brightness, meaning that it'll stay brighter for a longer period of time. And then in person I saw it didn't get that bright. It actually got pretty dark on one of those. I don't know how long it was on for. And the reason why it does get dim is so that you don't have any burn-ins with your TV. So call it a necessary evil, if you will, because that's pretty much what it is. But it still sucks having that. But this one has a heatsink, so you don't have to worry about that at all. Now the other problem that I had was I did mention that it had a 0.1 millisecond response time, and it turns out that it goes all the way up to 8 milliseconds. And so I do want to apologize for the inconsistent information that I had in the initial review video, because the thing is that I thought it was super fast because I was sitting far away from a screen compared to a monitor. So when you're sitting farther away, you won't be able to notice ghosting as much or anything like that from a farther distance. But when you're close up to a monitor, you definitely want to have a 1 millisecond response time or something like that. It would be great to have it on a TV too, but again, I just haven't really noticed ghosting on here. And the other thing I did notice was that I mentioned this has 144 hertz refresh rate, so you can get up to 144 FPS, but that's really not the case. You can only go up to 120 frames, just like I am here on God of War. 119 or 120, you get my point. So it only goes up to 120 frames, so I was completely wrong on this one. And you do need a HDMI 2.1 cable, like today's sponsor. RuiPro has come out with an all-new HDMI 2.1 cable that's actually affordable. You can get this for $10. So go check them out. I'll have a link down below. And it's great to have as backup. Overall, games still look great on here. The screen is wonderful, especially when it's calibrated. Right now, I don't think I really calibrated it. I just wanted to have like the peak brightness and enjoy it for what it is. And this looks great. Now, someone did complain about like the viewing angles being bad, like it gets tinted too yellowish or too greenish. I really don't notice that on here. Now, on video, it's going to be a little harder to really see that, right? I mean, I don't really see anything as I'm going further to the side. It looks really nice flushed in too, right, doesn't it? Onto the wall. It gives that like kind of premium look and just nice aesthetic overall here, because this is what my build is. And for a 65-inch TV, this did look small, but having these cabinets here on the side and then these like fake trees, it really helped out, so it looks completely fine. It's not too small for me. It might look small from this angle because I have it like zoomed out completely, but yeah, it's not really small at all. So 65 inches is a good size. If you can get it for 77, all the better. And then one last thing I did want to mention is I did notice glare later on at nighttime, because I do have my lights on, and so you do notice some glare on here. Let me see if I can replicate that right now, even though it's daytime. It is daytime here. I do have the back blinds closed, but from the side I do have the blinds open, and it was noticeable before, but I guess it isn't right now, which is a good thing. It's a really good thing. But as it gets dimmer, it does get a little bit more noticeable. Actually, it's more noticeable from here. From this side, so you can see the blinds are kind of noticeable there, so it'll be kind of a turn off. But the G3 is supposedly 40% brighter than this, so that's really impressive. And I don't think you'll notice that those blinds as well. It won't be as noticeable or unappealing on that G3. So I wonder what the G4 is going to have. Then at nighttime, I do see the glare from the lights back here. And so that's just kind of an unfortunate thing for me personally. But yeah, when I said it was like super bright back then, it was just because this was my first OLED TV I was checking out. The brightness is still good, but I do notice that glare at nighttime, and it is kind of unappealing. But I guess first world problems, right? So hopefully, like I said, the G4 is a lot better. It should be a huge improvement. And if you have the budget for it, then yeah, definitely wait for the new one. Or even wait for this to go on sale, because as the G4 gets released, I'm assuming this should come down in price too. It better come down in price. I'm not sure why it's only gone up, which is kind of unusual. At least on Amazon it did. So I'll have to double check on the pricing. And I'll try to leave the cheapest one down below, a link for the cheapest one down below, whatever I find. And if you have any recommendations or anything I missed out on at all, please let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, stay tuned. I'll definitely have more updates on this TV, or if I get any new TVs as well. So subscribe for more. And as always, thanks for watching.